Lots of athleticism. 360 to open it up.
360.
You want to see a real-life video game player? That is it. And Carvalho.
Carvalho with the headshot.
Holy cow, look at this young man.
Wow, the Joker with a couple of headshots. To the moon.
That right there, that's the Pillow Fight Championships. There's a whole lot going on. If you don't know what it is, you're about to find it all out from one of the founders, Steve Williams, and the CEO of the Pillow Fight Championships. Hello, Steve.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome. I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us. We have lots of questions.
We do.
I'm here to answer.
How did this even become a thing? Like, these are grown men fighting with pillows.
It's like my worst question because it's so long, but I'll try to give you the short answer. I was working on a concept called Fight Truck, which is a roaming truck, would go around the country and have MMA fights on the back of a truck. And the truck was a transformer, so it had that sort of cool factor, like Knight Rider did years ago, you know, with that Trans Am.
Yeah, of course.
And so that was going to be the start of the show, and Sting was going to drive around. My brother came in, and he, I'm more on the right, and then he's on the left politically. But he came in and he said, this is cool, but MMA, it's only legal in like 11 states. Sponsors don't want blood on the ring. MMA already has trouble getting sponsors. I started thinking about it, and it is a business. I mean, that's why I was doing it. And so he said, why don't you do something no one's doing, like pillow fighting? And he had just gotten back from Burning Man, and they did do a pillow fight, with like regular bedroom pillows out, Burning Man, which would have been, just a bizarre spectacle. And it was, and everybody loved it. So we started fooling around with the idea. And, initially I thought it was a stupid idea. I'm like, come on, man, that's just stupid.
But the visuals are incredible. I mean, grown men that look like MMA fighters hitting each other with pillows. You almost think it's a joke.
Yeah. Well, they are MMA fighters. Some of them are even UFC fighters. I mean, we got some guys that are just unbelievable. Actually, last week on Friday, I sent Jackson Wink, who that's the training center where John Jones trains. And they reached out to me and they said, hey, how can we get our fighters in your, into the PFC ring for your events? And I said, well, it's real easy. I'm just going to send you some pillows. You guys start training and we'll put you in this ESPN event that we've got coming up on August 1st. And they said, let's go. And I sent them the pillows, and they received them on Friday. And within 5 minutes, these guys were duking it out at Jackson Wink, which is like one of the top, 3 training centers in the world. And it's just epic what's going on.
We've been kind of looking at your do's and don'ts because I know it's pillow to pillow. You're not supposed to grab your opponent. But what's in the pillow?
Yeah.
Is it just a basic pillow?
It's a pillow.
It's just a pillow.
We actually tested maybe 150 different pillows to come up with that one. We found that one. It's sort of custom made for the right, I don't know, let's say the right puffiness, the right weight. The first pillow we started with came from Bed Bath & Beyond. It was a down feather pillow. It was like $150 a piece. Yeah, and they were 3.5 pounds. And the fighters were straining their biceps. At the end of the 2-minute round. So we ended up going with a lighter pillow that the men and the women can use multiple times. They can fight multiple times, and like we do a tournament, and nobody gets too tired. I mean, your arm doesn't get tired, but you get completely gassed. I mean, cardio is the most intense sport in the world.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are going full speed, guys and gals. We're talking to Steve Williams. He's the guy that's bringing us the PFC, the Pillow Fighting Championship. Now, Steve, explain some of the points, because I know if there's a knockdown, it's 5 points. You style a little bit if something happens in the ring. And while you're explaining the points, has anyone ever been knocked out?
We've never had a knockout. We've had maybe 5 TKOs, which are still epic, where someone just can't continue because they're just gassed. I mean, they get completely gassed. You get so gassed, your heart rate goes up so high. You kind of like flatline on the top level, where your heart can't beat any faster, but you need more oxygen and you can't breathe any faster, and so it's not a good feeling when you get up to that level.
I'm surprised there's no eye coverings because I remember fighting as a kid with pillows, and you get that like slice on your eye from the corners of the pillows. Have you had anything like that happen?
No.
No.
No,
Wow.
no. We designed the pillows. The pillows are patent pending. The corners are all rounded. It uses a special ripstop nylon, which is coated on one side. So actually, it makes like a bang noise when it hits. But there isn't any that the thread is sort of soft that's used. It's really durable, so it doesn't come apart. And we had 2 shoulder dislocations, but those were using the heavier pillows, and they were with people who previously dislocated their shoulders, so it sort of pops out easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the worst injury, but, there's another revenue stream here, Steve. The official pillow of the Pillow Fight Championships you could be selling on your website.
Why aren't you?
Yeah, we do.
You do?
It's
okay.
shop.fightpfc.com.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, get that in there.
How long has this been a thing?
It started, our first fight was in 2020, basically COVID. There were no sports, and we were like one of the first ones out. And that really helped us. I mean, our content in the first month and a half, or 3 months, we got about 1.5 billion views of our content, which just blew us away. We weren't ready for it.
Yeah, it's the perfect recipe for television. I would think if you're scrolling through on a Saturday afternoon, whatever, you see that, there's no way you don't stop.
We had a deal with Kevin Hart 4 months after we started. They called us at Heartbeat, and we did a deal with them. It was a 50-50 deal for a celebrity comedy pillow fight championship. But the studios weren't buying because they had overbought the COVID content. Remember when everybody started? Everybody's watching TV, and then everybody cut off their cable subscription at the same time, and the studios just closed up. So that deal never happened. But we didn't want to. We actually didn't want to put the comedy one out first because we wanted people to take the sport seriously.
Sure.
Yeah, and they should. They should see some of these videos. Now, has Mike Lindell reached out to be part of this? The My Pillow guy?
I'll tell you, what a disappointment. On one side, we didn't want to be political because everything is so political.
Right.
We just want this to be about entertainment, and we figured if we get Mike Lindell puts $500 million behind us or whatever, then Hollywood's going to hate us. And it didn't happen. But I'm shocked that he didn't reach out,
We're talking to Steve Williams, the CEO of Pillow Fight Championships. I do have a question for you. Let's say Crash on this show wanted to participate. What is the training like to be a pillow fighter?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, we see people, they either have it or they don't. We have UFC fighters that we won't let them get in the ring because they suck. I mean, you either kind of have a gift for it or you don't.
How funny is that? You tell them, guys, sorry, you don't cut the pillow fight. You can't make it as a pillow fighter.
Yeah, it's like sometimes guys, they're grapplers. They grow up grappling. They don't grow up like swinging or striking or boxing or anything. They just want to hug, and so they get too close and they just don't know how to punch, or swing. It's.
Can a regular dude like Crash, can he sign up on your website and try to participate? Like, do you have a field of dudes that are, they're going to make good TV.
Yeah. Sometimes when the guys aren't any good, or girls, it's great theater, especially if there's someone that's beating the crap out of them.
So you can sign up? So you can sign up on the website?
Yeah. We can sign up, bring them down for the ESPN tryout we're going to have here in about a month.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's fightpfc.com if you're interested.
I'm just curious, do you have a grand champion, like a Hulk Hogan in the league? Because I've seen Joker fight before, but who's the head guy or gal?
So first of all, Joker, no one's lost more than Joker, and he's Marcus Perez. He was a UFC fighter, for years, and no one's lost more than him. He's the perfect example of a guy that can fight, but he can't build a fight.
And this is not like, I'm going to say this out loud, but don't take offense, anyone listening. This is not like wrestling, right? This is not a scripted ending.
No.
Yeah. No, it's 100% real. That's the cool thing. It's loose, so it's fun, but it's real.
Oh, this is so great. I know you have an event coming up June 7th, and we'll be able to watch that on the stream, right? And all your socials or your website?
Yeah, it's at Fight PFC on any social site or on Kick. It'll be at Fight PFC. By the way, you mentioned who's our champ. Our Muhammad Ali is Holly Tilson, who's phenomenal. And, I mean, he's got the gift of gab and everything. We've got 2 other champions after that, TJ and Parker Appel.
That's great stuff. Steve, thank you for coming on with us. Steve Williams, the CEO of the PFC. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Lots of athleticism. 360 to open it up. You want to see a real-life video game player? That is it. In Carvalho.
Carvalho with the headshot.
Holy cow, look at this young man.
Wow, the Joker with a couple of headshots. To the moon.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. 99X.
No Contest Wrestling. O'Shea Jackson Jr. and TJ Jefferson with the biggest names in the game.
Ricky Saints is in the house, everybody.
NXT North American Champion, baby.
How you feeling right now, man?
I feel great.
Jay Uso, what's going on, man?
A lot of heavy days, but it's okay, man. It's part of the game.
They know who they are, bro. And you know who I am. TJ, can you tell them where to find us? I mean, why else are we here? You can always find us, No Contest Wrestling. Check us out.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.